And if you like this video, don't forget to smash the like button and share this video with as many people as you can. And if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, kindly do it so that you don't miss any of my videos. So without any delay, let's get started. And today we are gonna learn exceptions in Java. So we are gonna learn about exceptions in Java, and this is also a very interesting topic. And without any delay, let's get started. Jump! Okay, so errors and exceptions are thrown when you make a mistake in your code. Errors are also called exceptions, and they are thrown. Thrown means they are given to you when you make a mistake in your code. When an error occurs, Java stops your program and throws an error. Whenever you make an error in your program, Java will stop your program and throw an error. That's why we have a try catch statement through which we can test for some code, and if that throws a error, it will go in the catch statement and execute whatever code there is in the catch statement, right? The try statement allows you to define a block of code to be tested for errors while it is being executed. The catch statement allows you to define a block of code to be executed if an error occurs in the try block. Right? So, if whatever code you give in the try block, that will be tested, right, for errors, and if any error occurs, then it will go in the catch block and execute its code. The try and catch keywords are come in pairs, right? So they come in pairs. So for example, over here we have a normal error. We have a class main, we have a main method. Till now it's all right. We have an integer array that will contain integers. We have an array that will contain integers. And then what we're doing, we are trying to do system.out.println my numbers 10, right? But there is no 10th index in this my numbers array, right? There's no 10th index in this my numbers array. That's why it will throw an error, because it could not find the item we were looking for in in our array, right? So that's why this will throw us throw an error, and this will just stop all our Java code there and then, right? So it is saying exception in thread main java.lang array index of bounds exception, right? So index 10 out of bounds, so it is out of the length of basically our array, right? But now with the try catch block, what we are doing, we have a main method, a main a class, then we have to give the try keyword, and then we have to give a code block, right? And in this we are trying this code, so we have a in this we are making a my numbers array, and we are printing out my numbers 10. But obviously this will give us an error because there is no 10th index in our my numbers array, right? So because it is giving us an error, it will go in the catch block, right? And then it is getting an argument that will be of exception type, right? It will be of exception type, and it will come in the e variable, in the e parameter, right? And then in that we have just printing out system, we are just doing system print line, so we are printing out something went wrong. So it should print something went wrong. So yeah, we saw we get something went wrong because in the catch block we are just over here we had an error, so it goes in the catch block. In that we get one parameter e that is basically coming by default by itself, right? And that parameter will contain whatever error has come, right? And then we are just in the catch block we are just print out says something went wrong. Quite easy and very very cool, right? Then we have another block that is finally, right? So let's see this finally block. What the finally block is, when your try catch is done, like you if your try block was successful, then it will run the code of try and it will go in the finally block. If the try block was not successful, it will run the catch block and then it will again go in the finally block. So the finally block will be executed after the try catch statement has finished, right? um, not seeing if it has given, it has gone and try or the catch statement, right? The finally block will just be executed when the try catch statement will be over, once it goes in try or catch, right? In any of those. right? So over here we have a try block. Over here we are having an error, that's why it goes in the catch statement and it is printing out something went wrong. And after this try catch is completing, we have a finally keyword that and in a finally block we are just printing out the try catch is finished. So it will print out something went wrong, as in the try block we got an error, and then it will print the try catch is finished, as the finally block will be executed, uh, um, not seeing where it went in the try or catch, what it executed, the try or catch. Not seeing that, it will just print out finally after the try catch is over, right? So we are getting something went wrong and the try catch is over, so we are getting the try catch is finished, right? Quite cool. And then finally we have a throw keyword. So the throw statement allows you to create a custom error. So if you want to create a custom error, you can do that using the throw keyword, right? The or you can say throw statement. The throw statement is used together with an exception type, right? So there are many exception types available in Java, like the arithmetic exception. So there are many exceptions. Like one of them is arithmetic exception. Then we have a file not found exception, right? So we give the arithmetic exception when we get an we throw an arithmetic exception whenever we get a calculation error or something. We give a file not found exception whenever we are trying to access a file that is not found. We give an array index of bounds exception when we are trying to access an array's element that is out of its length, right? And then we there's a security exception when the security is compromised. We give the security exception, right? So over here we have a class main, we have a method, we have a check age method that takes in a variable and parameter age, and we are checking if that age is greater than 18. Over here we are not using the try catch block, right? So because we are just checking, right? Over here we don't need a try catch state keywords, we only need the if else. So we are checking if age is greater than 18. If age is less than 18, sorry, if age is less than 18, it will use the throw statement to throw a new error. The new keyword is basically arithmetic exception is a class, that a default class that is in the java.lang package. And to create a basically a java sorry any exception, like for example an arithmetic exception, if you want to create one, you need to use the new keyword, right? And then once the exception is created, you can throw that exception. So over here we need to pass the arithmetic exception, whatever we want to show. That over here we want to show that access is denied, you must be at least 18 years old, right? So what will happen, this new arithmetic exception will create a arithmetic exception object, right? And it will create an arithmetic exception object, and it has a parameter which is the text we want to show in our arithmetic exception. And then once we have created the object, we need to use the throw statement before it to basically show it like an error on our screen, like a normal error, right? And if the age is greater than 18, if it is not less than 18, then it will go in the else statement and it will print out access is granted, you are old enough. It is not throwing any error in the else, it is just showing access granted, you are old enough. So over here we then in our main method, what we are doing, we are passing the check age method 15. So because we are passing it 15, it is less than 18, and it will throw us a new arithmetic exception error, right? And it will say access denied, you must be at least 18 years old, right? So we are getting an exception in thread this arithmetic exception, access denied, you must be at least 18 years old. So this is how we can create a custom error. If I give 20 over here, 20 is greater than 18, that's why it will go in the else statement. 20 is not less than 18, so it will go in the else statement, and it will print out access granted, you are old enough. So when I pass 20, it will work fine because age is not less than 18, and it will show access granted, you are old enough. And it did show access granted, you are old enough, right? So thank you guys. If you like the video, don't forget to smash the like button and share this video with as many people as you can. Thank you guys, bye, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep watching my videos. Dab.